Hello everyone and welcome to my October TBR round. I apologize I have not filmed and put a video out for a while. We were dealing with putting new flooring in, so we had to, or new carpeting in a lot of the house. So we had to get everything out of all of the rooms and then trying to put everything back together. Everything's still not back together, at least for my stuff, because I've got to go slow because of my back issues. So I'm still working on that. I've also had sensory overload with things. I'm still smelling the new carpet smell, which I don't particularly like. It's very chemically, but it will dissipate. So I'm having issues with that. And then I got sick on top of that, and then I got sick again with a cold. So I still have a little bit of a cough from the cold, but it's a lot better than it was, and I'm feeling a lot better. So I apologize there hasn't been a video for a while. Thank you so much for being patient, and thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. If there's a special video that you would like to see in celebration of the hitting 1,000 mark, definitely let me know what you would like to see, and I'll see if that's something that I can do. But yeah, let's go ahead and get in. So it's time for my October TBR. No punishment for never finishing a TBR. These are just books that I would like to prioritize, but I may always pull books that were not picked for this video. So there is always that chance. So as a reminder, we will start out with 5 rolls. A double will get a punishment roll. No punishment TBR card for this one, so we'll just add on an extra roll, and the reason is because I have not found my TBR cards yet. So they're somewhere buried in my office that I still need to put back together. So we're just adding an extra roll, so no punishment TBR card draw. So yeah, we'll start out with 5 rolls, see where it goes, and go from there. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm definitely doing a lot better, and let's go ahead and get into this. Before we do, I need to figure out what spot I will be starting on. So let me pull up a random number generator. So Google random. Okay, so as you can see, hopefully, there we go, has the number 4 there, a minimum of 1, maximum of 10. I'm going to change that maximum to 30. All right, and let's see where, starting on space number 28. Okay, so I'm going to use this little guy as the token to move around the board. That was space number 28, right? Yeah, space number 28. Okay, now for the, okay, dice. I've got my bag of dice. Let's find 2 6-sided. Okay, oh, this one's a cat one. Okay, so I'll use that one. One more. Okay, and then this. There we go, yellow dice. So a purple and a yellow, one of them is a cat. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into roll number 1. All right, so I've got the guy on space number 28. And let's get into roll number 1. Okay, so a 3. What is this? Oh, that's a 2, because there's 2. I don't know if that's going to focus. But yeah, there's 2 little cats on there. But then that's a 2. So what number is this? 1. Okay, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5. Okay, so which means the side with the 2 cats, that's a 6. Okay, so we're going with 6 on that one. So a 6 and a 3, so moving 9 spots. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Costume. So costume is to read a book that has a cover that I like. And I'm really wanting to read this one, and I do like the cover. It gives very cozy vibes. And I love that there's a cat in the doorway, and that is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. It says, a small town spicy romance. When Jeanne's aunt gifts her the beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the small town of Dream Harbor, Jenny, I don't know, I'm guessing it's Jenny. Jenny jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs, but Jenny's arrival disrupts Logan's routine, and he wants nothing to do with the irritably upbeat new girl, except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jenny's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan, or has this city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charm or her pumpkin spice lattes? Sounds really cute. All right, we're on for prompt number 2. Okay, I've got a 5 and a 4, so 9 spots again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Back to school. Okay, so for back to school, this is to read either a children's book, a young adult, or a middle grade, or if it's going to be adult, it has to be in a school setting. So something where like a teacher is the main part, and a lot of it's going to be taking place at a school. I'm going to go with a young adult, and I have had this one on a couple of TBRs because I want to reread this series, and I haven't gotten to it yet, and that's going to be Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. There is no synopsis on the back. It just says, about 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how potent that part might be, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. So, a vampire, paranormal, young adult romance. And quite a bit of this, or at least some of it, does take place in a school, so I've got that part of it covered as well. All right, going on for prompt number 3. A 5 and a 4. 9 is the roll now, so rolling 9 spots again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Fright time. Okay, so Fright time. This is to read either a horror, a mystery, or a thriller, or some combination of those 3. I would even stretch it to say cozy mystery because it is still a mystery. So for this one, I'm going to get on the October Autism Reads selection for the month because it is a horror. It says, so the author is Chuck Tingle, and it says, from Chuck Tingle, beloved internet icon, comes a searing and earnest horror debut about the demons the queer community faces in this country. The price of keeping secrets, finding the courage to burn it all down. And that book is Camp Damascus, again by Chuck Tingle. Let's see. Welcome to a God-fearing community with a heart of gold. Nestled high up in the mountains is Camp Damascus, the self-proclaimed most effective gay conversion camp in the country. Here, a life free from sin awaits, but the secret behind that success is anything but holy. I know that conversion camps used to exist. I think some of them still exist. If they do, they should be shut down. I hate the idea of the conversion camps and what they do and how they try to force people to pray the gay away or something, which is not a thing, never going to happen. But horror, we'll get it on, and I'm really intrigued with this one. Hopefully, I've struggled because I've been in and out of a slump. I've been really slumpy for the past couple of months. So the books for the Autism Reads, I have not been picking up, and I really want to because I still really want to read all of them. But this one really, I mean, there's a couple of them that I really want to get to, but this one is also one of the high priorities out of all of them. So hopefully I'll be able to get to all the other ones. I've got to dig them out of my office because everything's just a mess right now. But this one, I will be reading this one in October. So I'm really excited for this one. All right, going on for prompt number 4. Okay, you got another 4, and this time we got a 2. So something other than a total of 9. So moving 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Another back to school. All right, so just as a reminder, back to school is to read a middle grade, a young adult, or children's book, or if it's going to be an adult book, it has to take place within a school setting or a school career, teacher, something like that. I'm going to go with the middle grade. I'm going to go with Scritch by Lindsday Currie. This is a book that my mom gifted to me, so hopefully I'll get to it. She did not care for this. She was a counselor or a guidance counselor at a junior high, and there was too much teen middle grade drama in this for her liking, so she passed it on to me, but she does think I will like this one. So I'm trying to drift off to sleep when a faint scratching sound starts up in the wall behind my head. Scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. Claire has absolutely no interest in the paranormal. She's a scientist, which is why she can't think of anything worse than having to help her dad on one of his ghost-themed Chicago bus tours. Every single place they go gives her the creeps. She thinks she's made it through when she sees a boy with a sad face and dark eyes at the back of the bus, sitting silently among the other passengers. There's something off about his presence, especially because when she checks at the end of the tour, he's gone. Claire tries to brush it off. She must be imagining things, letting her dad's ghost stories get the best of her. But then the scratching starts. Voices whisper to her in the dark. The number 396 appears everywhere she turns, and the boy with the dark eyes starts following her. Claire is being haunted. The boy from the bus wants something, and Claire needs to find out what before it's too late. And will this be the final roll? Yeah, so a 1, a 1, and a 4. So moving 5 spots, and it's the last roll, but will not be the last prompt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Halloween party. Halloween party. Well, you need at least 2 people to party. So this is to read a book that has 2 or more people on the cover. I'm going to go with a middle grade, and this is a horror middle grade. I'm going to go with book number 3 in the Spirit Hunters series by Ellen O, and this one is Something Wicked. It says, let's see. Harper is dealing with too many new changes in her house. Her cousin Leo is now living with them. Her sister Kelly has started working at a local makeup store. Junie and, makeup store Junie, I guess. And Harper's spirit hunter abilities have grown increasingly more powerful and uncontrollable, making her a target for possession. But when Harper and Deo uncover a dangerous plot to steal youth from millions of innocent people, Harper must use all her powers to destroy an ancient evil and save her sister. Can our intrepid spirit hunters rescue Kelly before it's too late? And as you can see, there are 2 people there, and there's a demon there. So 2 people on the cover. So these are the 5 books I got. We had no doubles, so these are the books that are officially on my Catwalk TBR, but we are not done. I just can't go around without pulling a booktuber that does or has done a TBR game. So let's pull one, and then I'll add some more books to my pile of possibilities for the month of October. So I've got my jar here, and let's see who I draw out. Let's go with this one. Okay, Merin from Post-its and Pens. So I'll put this one off to the side, and it'll not be put back into this jar until later. So I'm going to watch the latest game. Let me pull it up. I believe she's got one out for October already. So Post-its, and again, I will link the video and the channel both in the description box so you can check them out. And definitely check out her channel. Let's see, here we go. Post-its and Pens. Yep, she did a Bookopoly Chooses My October TBR. I actually have not seen this one yet. It was posted 2 days ago as of filming this, which it's the last day of September. So I'm going to go and watch Merin's game, and then I will come back and tell you what the prompt is and what book I picked for it. Again, the video will be linked in the description box so you can go see Merin's reaction and what book Merin chose to fulfill said prompts. And quick correction, I said Merin, it is Merin. I don't know how I'm ever going to get that to sink into my head. It is Merin, not Merin. It is Merin. And I do apologize. If she ever happens to see this video, I do apologize. All right, the first prompt that Merin got was a book with a building on the cover. I'm going to go with Bottled by Stephenie Ellis. So as you can see, there's a building. There's also a big old tarantula there, but there's a building in there. It says, the house was his, an unwanted and unwelcome inheritance. As a child, Tyler Vertram spent many miserable hours beneath its roof, hating his grandfather and the man's housekeeper, Mrs. Waits. His only escape during those visits had been via the impossible bottles created by his granddad, bottles holding miniature woods in which he could lose himself for hours. Sometimes, however, he sensed something else living in the house and in the bottles, and when he returned home, he took the nightmares with him. Now an adult, Tyler decides one last visit can do no harm. Allow him to finally shake off his nightmares. The bottles, however, are waiting, and so is Mrs. Waits. As both house and bottles gradually yield up their secrets, it is made clear to Tyler what is expected of him and what will happen should he fail. Is Tyler master or servant of the house? All right, prompt number 2 is a community shelf, and the card that was drawn was for a duology. So I'm going with book number 1 in a duet, which a duet is a duology. I'm going with House of Bane and Blood. This is written by Alexis L. Menard. This book came from and there's the back with the dust jacket. I'm blanking on the subscription box, but it was like their Christmas advent. And that's the original dust jacket, and then under the dust jacket, quote on the back, so with the train, quote on the back, it says, order hates what it can't control. So the synopsis: House of Bane and Blood. In a city split into two opposing sides, power comes in many bloodlines, money, love, and, most importantly, secrets. An heiress and the most notorious family in Lynchhaven, Camilla Marchese, is doing all she can to keep her family's syndicate, the Iron Saint Railway, from slipping into bankruptcy. When the gorgeous and depraved Nikolai Atano, the leader of a rival family, offers to pay off the inspector in exchange for her hand, she has no choice but to give up not only her throne, but her name. Nico has his own motivations for their union beyond maintaining peace with her family. A serial kidnapper known as the Collector has been ravaging the streets of Remnant Row, stirring up mistrust between natives and descendants. If Mila can help restore safety to his streets, he'll have no need for her or her family's company. Find the Collector, prevent a war between their sides of the city, and pay off the family debt before she turns 21. If Mila can fulfill her end of the bargain, she'll walk away with more freedom than she's ever had before. But this deal plunges Mila into a city's dark underbelly where remnant magic and arcane science compete in a deadly game of depravity. When forbidden feelings rise for her new husband and dark family secrets come to light, Mila must discover the truth about her past before it gets them both killed or worse, collected. So, and I did look up, I did a Google search and did verify this is only a duet. So, yeah, book number 1, I think it was Vows and Vengeance was the name of the series, but yeah. Okay, so roll number 3 was a chance card. So in this particular edition of this game, she pulled a card and listed a book that she needed to read. So I'm just going to go with the book that was on either my September TBR I did not get to, or is on my fall TBR. I'm going to go with Hide by Kiersten White. It's a horror, and I really do want to get to this one. Let's see, it says the challenge: spend a week hiding in an abandoned amusement park and don't get caught. The prize: enough money to change everything. Even though everyone is desperate to win, to seize a dream future or escape a haunting past, Mac is sure she can beat her competitors. All she has to do is hide, and she's an expert at that. It's the reason she's alive and her family isn't. But as the people around her begin disappearing one by one, Mac realizes that this competition is even more sinister than she'd imagined, and that together might be the only way to survive. 14 competitors, 7 days, everywhere to hide but nowhere to run. Come out, wherever you are. Prompt number 4 is to read a nonfiction. So for this one, I'm going to go with True Crime Case History, Volumes 4, 5, and 6 by Jason Neal. I have read the one with volumes 1 through 3. I have since unhauled it. Here's the thing, these don't go into learning more about the victims or why the perpetrator did what they did. It's just a very brief kind of case synopsis on these. So it's fine. You still get things that you would normally get in true crime. You get the blood, the gore, the vulgar language, the sexual assault, the suicides, the murder, all of that. I just wanted more depth into it. So I am unhauling these ones as I read them. So this is the book number 2. So it's a combination of volumes 4, 5, and 6. So this is written by Jason Neal. It's still good. I just want more information. So, and the last prompt that Merin got was to read a romance. So I'm going to go with a short one, a novella, and this is book number 2 in the holiday romance series written by J. Sterling, and this one is dumped for Valentines. Yes, that is not a horror mystery. This is a Valentines, but that's okay. It's short, so hopefully I can get some more spooky type reads on here for the month of October. So this one says, heading off to Vale single and alone wasn't how I planned on spending the week before Valentine's Day, but here I am. In one of the most scenic places in the country with nothing to do and no one to do it with, until I meet Jace Malone. He's adventurous, charming, and sexy as hell. It was supposed to be just one night of letting go of the past and giving in to the moment. But things never quite pan out the way you think, do they? So, and that is it. So that is a total, let me see, I can definitely hold these up. So that's 10 books for October. Hopefully I can get to all of these ones. That is my goal. I really want to try to get to all of those ones. So we'll definitely see how that goes. Let me know, is there a book that you are particularly wanting to prioritize for the month of October? What are you most excited to get to? And all of that, definitely let me know your thoughts. Have you read any of these books or books from any of these authors? Definitely let me know. If there's a book that you want to recommend, again, definitely let me know that as well. So until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.